and Research, a free international online conference. My name is Ashwani Kumar. I'm a professor of education at Mount St. Vincent University, and I'm the chair of this conference. Thank you for being here with us on the opening day of the conference. It is so nice to see so many attendees from diverse cultural, academic, and practice contexts. Currently, we have close to 375 participants registered for the virtual conference and 70 participants registered for the in-person cultural evening to be held on the last day of the conference, which is truly heartwarming. Thank you so much for your support. I would like to note that this conference is being hosted in Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada. Nova Scotia is the unceded ancestral territory of the Mi'kmaq people, and it's traditionally known as Mi'kmaqui. Over my years here in Mi'kmaqui, I have come to learn about so many profound and wonderful aspects of the Mi'kmaq culture from my students and community members, and I have noted many remarkable connections between my work on meditative inquiry, Indian spiritual philosophies that inform it, and the Mi'kmaq culture. Many of my indigenous students have often shared that they find the meditative inquiry approach to education closely connected to the indigenous worldviews. Some commonly shared themes between indigenous worldviews and meditative inquiry include the importance of self-understanding, relationship between self and society, and between human beings and nature, the value of respectful listening and dialogue, the importance of leading spiritually rich and vibrant lives, and the need for and significance of holistic education. We will be hearing more about all of these and many other important themes from all of our presenters over the days of the conference. As I'm sure you're all aware from the announcements about the conference, the key focus of this conference is the edited collection called Engaging with Meditative Inquiry in Teaching, Learning, and Research, Realizing Transformative Potentials in Diverse Contexts. I am the editor of this collection, and I will discuss my aims and intentions for the edited book in the session immediately after the opening remarks. Here I want to share key goals for this conference with you. The conference aims to create a dialogical space for participants to learn about meditative inquiry and its connection with other holistic approaches as explored by the contributors in the edited collection. Invite a group of additional scholars, practitioners, and artists to share their impressions of the value and significance of meditative inquiry in diverse contexts. Engage participants in thought-provoking presentations and discussions that can stimulate their personal exploration of meditative inquiry. And finally, to inspire further investigation into the broad applicability of meditative inquiry in various fields. I must say that the lineup of speakers, including the contributors to the book and other distinguished scholars and practitioners who have kindly agreed to share their time with us over the next 3 days, is a knowledgeable and exciting group. Anyone who has read the bios and abstracts on the conference website would surely agree with it. I wanted to take this opportunity to thank all of our speakers so much for agreeing to take part and making this event possible. And of course, all of the attendees for your shared interest in this event. This event would not have happened without the support of the Shirk Exchange Grant, Routledge publication, especially the editor Alice Salt, and very importantly, support from various units within Mount St. Vincent University, including Faculty of Education, ITNS, Conference Services, Research Office, and Accounts, among others. Many thanks also to members of the conference organizing committee, Bonnie Peterson, Ellie Barclay, and Ian McLeod, who have worked very hard to make this conference a possibility. It would have been impossible to put this conference together without all of them. So thank you so much. Now I would like to turn to Bonnie so that she may introduce our speakers for the opening remark sessions.
Hello, everyone. So as you can see, Ashwani has just handed over to me. So we're going to start with opening remarks. There are 3 opening remarks, and I'm going to introduce all 3 speakers now. starting with Jacqueline Gahagan. Dr. Jacqueline Gahagan is full professor and associate vice president of research at Mount St. Vincent University. Antony Card, who will also be giving an opening remark, is the Dean of Education at Mount St. Vincent University. Finally, Alice Salt is the commissioning editor at Routledge. This goes across all subdisciplines in the area of education, psychology, and mental health. So now I'm going to be passing over to Jacqueline.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome. Bienvenue. My name is, as Bonnie's pointed out, is Jackie Gahagan. I'm the Associate Vice President of Research at Mount St. Vincent University, and I'm joining you with sincere gratitude from Mi'kma'ki, the ancestral and unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq, noting that we're all treaty people. It's my sincere pleasure to welcome you to this important conference focused on meditative inquiry in teaching, learning, and research. I would like to thank Dr. Kumar and colleagues for making this conference possible, particularly as we prepare for the start of a new academic year and reflect on our own approaches to teaching, learning, and research in the classroom, in the community, and in the world around us. This work is important as well in terms of the development of our own Mount St. Vincent University plan. We need to set our path for understanding the diverse ways of knowing and conducting research, moving beyond the privileging of Western approaches to include other research philosophies and principles. I would also like to congratulate Dr. Kumar and their contributors on their new edited volume recently published by Routledge called Engaging with Meditative Inquiry in Teaching, Learning, and Research, Realizing Transformative Potentials in Diverse Contexts. And as noted in the book description, this book offers a collection of multi and interdisciplinary essays which explores the transformative potential of Dr. Kumar's work on meditative inquiry, a holistic approach to teaching, learning, and researching, creating and living in diverse educational contexts. Would like to wish you all a highly productive conference. And again, I would like to express my deep gratitude and thanks to Dr. Kumar and colleagues for bringing the conversation on meditative inquiry forward. I wish you a very productive and successful time together. Merci beaucoup. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Gahagan. I apologize for mispronouncing your name. And now, Dr. Antony Card, over to you.
Yes, thank you, and a very warm welcome to everyone and to the conference, and a special thanks to Dr. Kumar and to everyone involved in the organisation of this, to Bonnie, Ian and Ali. We're certainly looking forward to the next couple of days. I would like to just take a few moments to say a few things about the Faculty of Education at the Mount. I mean, many of you are obviously connected to it, but we have some visitors as well. So next year, this coming year, the Mount celebrates its 150th anniversary, and our history of teacher education and education in general runs through that chronology. And of course, the key theme in the current strategic plan of Mount St. Vincent is equity, diversity, inclusion, and access. And that is important to the Faculty of Education. And I think you'll see that through much of the scholarship that you'll be hearing in the next couple of days. The history of the Faculty of Education really profoundly changed in 1995, where there used to be 3 faculties of education in Halifax, one at St. Mary's, one at Dalhousie, and one here at the Mount, and they came together in a consolidation. And that means there was obviously a larger Faculty of Education created. We currently have 13 graduate program areas, around about 850 graduate students. That number will obviously change. About 300 B.Ed, Bachelor of Education students. And of course, we share a doctoral program with Acadia University and St. Francis Xavier University. And many folks in this conference are connected to that program as well. We have much international work going on in Belize, and in fact, the current project, when it finishes, we will have reached every school community principal in Belize and in St. Lucia as well. And we have cohort programs that run throughout this province and into other provinces as well. So perhaps that just gives you a little bit of sense of the Faculty of Education. Some really wonderful colleagues, and I'm really excited to be listening to their work. In preparation for this event, I read the book. I really enjoyed it, and certainly all of Dr. Kumar's work and the contributions from many of my colleagues. It gave me the opportunity to become more familiar with that. And there are many questions that I have, and I'm looking forward to having answered through the conference. But a few things that stood out to me, of course, there's the quality of the actual discourse, the poetry, the artistic work. It's beautiful. It's so well put together. But some things that did stand out to me, I think that many academic conferences tend to be fairly narrow, requiring esoteric knowledge and for a limited scope of academics to be able to join together. In this one, I mean, I noticed that it really doesn't matter your background. You can come from a perspective that's Western, African, Asian, Buddhist, Indigenous. It really doesn't matter your culture, philosophy, or spiritual traditions and background. There's an opportunity to engage in this work, and I think that hopefully makes it more appealing to a wider audience. And I think I look forward to hearing the diversity that will come from that. One of the things that stood out to me was a chapter by Dr. Ritchie and Paul Stemner, and they talked about the importance of dialogue between us and also within ourselves. And that also resonated for me in the chapter by Dr. Downey, where he coined the phrase meditative mind. And I thought that's something that I want to do in the next couple of days, and take the opportunity to ask myself some serious and meaningful questions about the experiences perhaps I've had as a university administrator going through the pandemic. I just hope I last till Thursday. I think it's going to be a wonderful time. Thank you so much, Dr. Kumar. I really look forward to the next couple of days and to the closing event as well. Thank you and welcome.
Thank you so much, Dr. Card, for your remarks. So the third person to offer opening remarks is Alice Salt, who won't be here in person this morning, but she has sent a recorded message. So Ian, if you could share that with everyone now, please.
Hi, everyone. I'm Alice, and I'm the commissioning editor for education research titles at Routledge, working with Professor William Pienaar on the Studies in Curriculum Theory series. I'm delighted to be contributing some opening remarks to the conference for engaging with meditative inquiry in teaching, learning, and research, and to be kicking off what looks like a fantastic schedule of events delving into the themes and currents of the book. I thought I'd begin by sharing some comments from the original reviewers of the proposal, which highlight the strength of the book and the strong foundation from which it was conceived and subsequently accepted for publication. One reviewer says, "This area of research is growing, while at the same time there are cuts to education programs that can implement this form of inquiry and learning. With the COVID-19 crisis, it is imperative that these forms of inquiry and pedagogy are highlighted with theory and practice, as this book offers. I appreciate the international and interdisciplinary educational flavour that is present in this book, and that it is engaging dialogue with different worldviews and educational theories, such as Zen Koan, Steiner, Indigenous knowledge, Afrocentric, arts-based, and critical theory. It raises dialogues where chapter authors raise questions of conflict, inner and outer, complementarity, and comparative education within this methodology. This book is timely and stands to make a huge impact if others take this practice on. This is a strong core foundation to implementing the meditative inquiry as a way of life. Kumar has created a niche for himself in the field of education and curriculum in Canada." Another reviewer remarks, "This text makes an important contribution to the field of curriculum studies. I believe that meditative inquiry can be an inside-out decolonizing force in our world. It will appeal to students and instructors in curriculum and pedagogy studies, as well as those with interest in the social foundations of education. The international and intercultural focus of the book will appeal to graduate students and instructors in the field of education in many different parts of the world. Most importantly, there is huge interest in mindfulness and holistic approaches to educational praxis, and as such, the book is extremely timely. So both of these comments speak to the great uniqueness of the topic, the reputation of Ashwani Kumar as the leading scholar in advancing research around the practice of meditative inquiry, and to the strength of the collection in bringing together such a diverse and international range of contributors that speak to the power of utilizing this approach. We're so delighted to see the book come to fruition. Thanks so much for listening, and please do enjoy the conference ahead. I'm going to share my screen with you for a moment. So if anyone has any further questions about publishing with Routledge or is interested in developing a book idea for the Curriculum Theory series, please do feel free to reach out to myself or Bill. I'm including my contact details on the slide here. Please don't hesitate to get in touch. I've included my email, a link to the Routledge Education Catalogue, and our Twitter handle that you can follow along with. Thanks so much again, and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you so much. I am now going to introduce our next session. Maybe I should just quickly share that.